Hey guys, Joe Pye here at Advanced Innovations. Welcome back to the shop. You know, today's video is going to be about utilizing your quick change tool post to its fullest potential. And I thought before I really went into how I set mine up and strive to leave mine set up, that I would show you one thing beyond the block. And that's probably a good title for this video. These are insert tool holders. These are threading and grooving insert tool holders by Kennametal. 3 different sizes: 1/2 inch, 5/8, and 3/4. Now they come in left hand and right hand. So how do you know whether it's a left hand or a right hand? Well, you look straight down the length of the tool this way, and whatever side that insert is on, that would be the hand designation of this particular holder. So this is a right hand holder. Right side insert, right hand holder. I will bet you when I check the serial numbers on the side of this that there's an R in it. There you go. NSR 123B. And quite opposite, this one will be an NSL 123B. Right and left. Doesn't matter what size it is. If it's a threading, grooving, boring, once you look straight down the shank of the tool at the front of the tool, whatever side the insert's on, that's what's going to be the designation. All right, important to know, these tools are designed with a particular relief in them so that you can do your cutting operation. You can see that the insert is the farthest point out on this, but it sits in that pocket at an angle. So although this is a 60-degree threading insert, if you were to lay this on a comparator flat and look for the 30-30 on the thread, you would say, wait a minute, one side's 28, the other side's 32, how come? That's because when it sits in there, it sits cocked. So if you're making a tool holder for yourself, please be aware that these tools are ground to be holder specific. Good thing to know. Now the holder itself is intended to be installed in the machine against one of the clean registration surfaces. It's got 2 actually. It's got the bottom one, and it's got a non-punched, non-raised versus the other side, which you can see just by the shadow that these are elevated, this is recessed, and this is not a good registration surface. So when this snaps into any CNC, it probably registers against the back, and they clamp it down, and they don't waste any time worrying about the profile of the insert, because the tool holder itself just established the feature that they want. That being said, I think it's important, if you have an Aloris or any type of quick change tool post, that you're aware of this feature on insert tooling, or you're wasting your time. Not wasting your time, but you're not utilizing the tool to its fullest potential. So I'm going to show you how I set up my quick change tool holder. It is not a big deal. It's just a matter of putting an indicator on it, and if you're not sure, if you bought something from a foreign country and you're not sure if the quality of it, well then indicate it, position it, lock it in the position that you are going to use it most. And for me, that would certainly be threading. All right, so let's take a walk out to the machine. I'll throw the camera on the back of the lathe and I will show you how I set my tool post, and we'll talk about a dedicated tool holder for a threading or grooving insert. If you want to not worry about fish gauges, fishtail gauges, or thread profiles, do it this way. Let's take a walk. All right, I guess we start at the beginning. Quick change tool post, right here. I am standing behind the machine right now because that's where the camera is. I have a rack for my tools lined up to my right as I'm standing over there. So these tools are to my right, away from the chuck, just to keep them clean and avoid the chance that they're going to fall into a spinning chuck. Do not keep your tools on top of the headstock. It's not a good idea. Okay, quick little, how does he do it? I'm going to show you how I change a tool, and it has just never gotten in the way. So take a look. All right, tools are to my right, work to the left. Tool that I want to change is in the holder. I will strike the quick change tool holder lever with my left hand. Crossover gives me all the stretch that I need to go wherever I need. I never let go of this. I drop the new tool back in. Done. Cross it over. over, done. I always cross my hands with the handle on the bottom. It works really well. There's no fumble, or you don't have to let go of anything. It's a fluid motion. That's how I do it. Let's take a look at the setup of this block. Okay, regardless of the angle of my compound, I always try to keep the two locking faces of my tool holder, my tool post, true to the two axes that they represent. This side of my tool post I want true this way, and the face I want true this way. This is the one that I deem, to me, more important because I do all my single point threading, most of it OD threading, registering on this face. And it is very easy to do this. Stick your indicator on there. Let's get it to 0. As you physically crank, or even with the machine on and use power feed if you just don't feel like cranking it, run the cross slide back and forth and make sure that the indicator needle doesn't move. Simple. It's just like indicating in anything else. Once you've tightened down the tool post itself, tighten down the compound, double check your indicator reading and make sure it's true. If you have any doubt about the quality of your tool post, put the indicator on the face of your tailstock and move the carriage back and forth and check the back side. I know that this Aloris block is absolutely spot on. If I indicate one side 0, I can rest assured that the back side is 0 also. And not to assume anything here, because I've seen it both ways, keep your solid surfaces of the block in the direction of the cut. If you're going to be boring, you want it this way. If you're going to be turning, facing, threading, whatever, you want it this way. Do not have your wedges or your cams on the driving side. If the holder has any variation whatsoever, the wedges are going to open or close in a different manner, and if you change tools or whatever, you're going to have a different number. The tool holders will not repeat that way. This way, the leading edge is up against a solid shoulder, and all the torquing is done from behind. Now, if you have a dedicated holder that you're going to set your insert tool into, now I'm going to get to the whole reason behind the way this video started. You want to be sure that the holder that you're going to use for your threading operation, you know that the block itself is true. But right now, this tool holder is not registering on anything that you just indicated. Nothing. This is strictly reference. The dovetail shape of this particular holder is registering on two subsurface surfaces that you did not address yet. So before you say, hey, my tool holder is spot on, you have to check the inside in there, okay? Run your indicator along that face right there. And I'll tell you, in the past, with the block dialed into 0, if you have a dedicated tool holder that you're going to use for a specific tool religiously and it doesn't indicate 0, take it to the surface grinder, take it to the mill, dust this inside back edge until it does read 0. That way that tool holder will perform exactly the same way the manufacturer intended the tool holder, the insert tool holder, to perform when it's locked into a piece of production machinery. Inside here, that is your most, not the bottom surface, that surface in there. Got to be true. Let's check it out. Heat index today is a 104 degrees. That is really warm. I am going to speculate that this is out at least 1/1000th or 2. If you don't have the capability to cut your tool holder, readjust the block until you get a 0 on this surface. I like to rule out any potential error and just fix the problem. But if you can't fix the block, adjust the main tool block. See what we get. We're talking 3 thou. Well, let's go back. Repeatability, back to 0. You even got a high spot in there. All right, well, that's where it starts. Unloosen the nut, rotate the block accordingly, dial this error out until it reads 0. This is my threading block, and to be perfectly honest with you, I'm shocked to see that. With this being upside down, I know that I must have changed it in the near very recent past, so my bad. That should be an absolute 0 surface if you're using a dedicated insert style tool in there. And I'm going to have a talk with that compressor about coming on at the worst possible moment. So there you go, guys. Those are my suggestions for setting up a quick change tool post. What surfaces to indicate, what to look for, why it's important. And I do practice what I preach. This is the way I will set mine up every time, religiously. And as I've said in previous videos, when you set your block up, a really good rule of thumb is that the outside of your tool holder is the farthest projection on the top of the machine. You're not going to hit this corner of your compound. You're not going to hit the slide. If this clears the chuck, everything else clears the chuck. Good rule of thumb. I think it's about beer 30 where I'm standing, so I'm going to call this one a day. If you got any questions, comments, put it in the comment line below. And as usual, thank you for watching. Joe Pye from Advanced Innovations in Austin, Texas. Stay well.